Hi, this is Adrienne Barbeau. Just call me Billy. Everyone does. And you're listening to withoutyourhead.com.
Hey, it's Nasty Neal here. I'm just gonna be live momentarily. I'm testing some stuff out. The last couple weeks, I think it was ever since I got back from Atlanta. My laptop has been slow, and at times it freezes up. So I think I found what the problem was, and I think it's working well now. So I just wanted to do a quick test run to see if this is working, because I'll be live Sunday night. So tonight, if you're on the East Coast like me, or tomorrow if you're in other places, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Tara time. Because Tara, she gets her own area code, Tara Hutchinson, on Without Your Head, because she's in Arizona, and they don't abide by the laws of daylight savings, which I think is a good thing. I think we should all be under Terra time and screw daylight savings. Let's see. Jobo's here. I saw the Up All Night specials. Freaking awesome. Oh, cool. I did not see that. I should check that out. Maybe I don't know if she would do it, but it'd be cool to see if Rhonda Shear would come on here. But yeah, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Terra time. We will be joined by Shannon Thompson, and we are going to be talking about Buried Alive Film Festival and all the award winners. It's going to be a good time. So that'll be Sunday. And then this Wednesday, I should grab the man's name. This Wednesday, instead of Thursday, because Thursday's Thanksgiving, folks. So we don't want to, we're not going to do a show on Thanksgiving. Realize, people in the United States are probably spending time with their family. In theory, probably 8 o'clock at night, everyone's sick of their family. You've all eaten enough food. You're like, we should just sit back and listen to Nasty Neal and Tara and Terrible Troy and Cousin AJ and see what's going on down. But we're going to be live Wednesday, because we also have to think of the guest. And we don't want to make the guest, unless I get a guest from Canada, which on former years and years prior and years before, I did do that. We would get a guest from Canada or another country, because they don't give a shit about our Thanksgiving. They're like, yeah, I'll come on. It's just another Thursday to me. But so this Wednesday, I'm very excited, because we're going to have Thomas Lorber on. And Thomas, he played John Carver in Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. And this was a movie Eli Roth actually directed. I know some people are like, that was blah, 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 blah. Well, yes, the man underneath, when he's, spoiler alert, the man who you discover is the killer, John Carver, is played by a different actor. But Thomas was John Carver in the fight scenes. So under the mask and the fight scenes, he was John Carver. And I love the movie Thanksgiving. I'm a big fan of holiday horror films. And I like slasher films. I like all horror movies. And for years, we've had endless reboots of Michael Myers. I mean, he's been rebooted more than anybody, probably, him and Leatherface. So there's, Leatherface. We've had some reboots of Pinhead, one reboot of Jason. But we all know these guys. We know Leatherface. We've had the reboot of Freddy. And it's not that I dislike any of these guys, but, all right, enough already. So the last few years, we've had the rise of Art the Clown, which is a new, legit horror icon. That makes me happy. And I think we have another one now in The Grabber from the Black Phone movies. cool character. We've seen it grow from the first movie to the second movie. I've seen, merchandise now, toys with the grabber. So I think that is a new one, a new masked slasher icon. And I believe that John Carver has the it factor to be one as well. Huge fan of Thanksgiving. It actually felt like an old school slasher film. I think they had the tone right. It's the kills are, gory but also fun. I thought it was one of the best modern slasher films. And not like mean spirited like Art the Clown and Terrifier. I like the Terrifier movies, don't get me wrong, but they are mean spirited films where I didn't think Thanksgiving was. We'll get to the super chats here in a minute. My friend Carl Solomon 9999. So that'll be Wednesday. Thomas Lorber, John Carver of Thanksgiving. Not only Thanksgiving, he's the fight coordinator in Violent Night and Violent Night 2, which is exciting. He's also the stunt double for Oscar Isaac in the new Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, now on Netflix. He's in a ton of stuff. So that'll be Wednesday night the day before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Eve. We have Christmas Eve. Why not Thanksgiving Eve? And Without Your Head will be live with Thomas Lorber, John Carver of Thanksgiving. That'll be Thursday. Tomorrow night we'll be live with Shannon of Barry Live Film Festival. And Tuesday on my wrestling podcast, we'll be live reviewing Full Gear, which I had a great time. I loved Full Gear. It's great stuff. And we'll go more in depth onto that on the wrestling show. There's also, I'm also putting together it's going to recap my year in the Dabbleverse. So it was about a year ago, last year when I made my first appearance in the Dabbleverse. I used to say, I was like fringe I was in and out, but I think at this point, as a few people told me, I can't just say that anymore. So I guess I'm part of the Dabbleverse now. And so I get invited on a lot of shows, and that's cool. I enjoy doing these shows. I just don't always have the time, or I'm not home. So if you do a show at 3 a.m, you're probably more likely to be able to get Nasty Neal on your show. But not many people do a show at 3 a.m, I understand. But but at the same time, I've had a lot of folks that are like, why don't you just do your own show? Then you can get the super chats. Not that I'm here for that, but hey, who doesn't like some money? But the real reason I would like to do one by myself, a whole show, I might have someone pop on or something like that. But sometimes it's hard. You go on Stuttering John's show. This is not an attack Stuttering John, but you go on Stuttering John's show. He sends the link to Ava, and it's just a big shouting match. And so it's really hard to get like a point across when everyone's yelling. So I would like to take the time and go over the 1 year of Nasty Neal in the Dabbleverse. I originally was going to call it Dead to Me. Dead to Me, my 1 year with Stuttering John. And then he supposedly, I guess he liked me again, even though he blocked me on that show. But now I think I'm dead to him again. So I think I'm going to keep the name Dead to Me. I think that's what we're going to call it. So get your questions ready. I'll answer all Dabbleverse questions on that show. And I'll answer some more here in a second. Chobo, I'm looking forward to Tuesday. Good man. Where's Troy? This isn't real. I'm only going to be on a few minutes. As I mentioned to begin with, my laptop, since I returned from Atlanta, had been very slow, and it freezes up every once in a while. So I was running some tests on my laptop during Full Gear, and I think it's working well. So I just wanted to do a test run before the live show tomorrow night. But I do think it's working better. I'm not freezing. Seems like it's actually streaming in full HD. All right. My pal Carl Solomon 999. Something tells me it's not the real Carl Solomon, but I could be wrong. For people who don't know, Carl Solomon is a cool guy. He's an actor. He's in one of my favorite cult films. That's what someone asked me about cult films. I can't believe I didn't bring up The Greasy Strangler. When I saw The Greasy Strangler for the first time, I was like, "Oh fuck, this is a movie for me." It's humor very specific to me. It's people overuse the phrase like it's either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, and I think they really just use it for like you're gonna like it or you won't like it. But I mean, you could use that phrase for literally anything. I mean, you're probably gonna either like something or you're not. But The Greasy Strangler, you're literally good. You're not gonna watch it and be like, nah. Well, yeah, it was pretty good. You're either gonna be like, yes, this is a movie, or you're gonna be like, what the fuck was that? And I get that reaction whenever I tell anyone to watch it. I either get, oh my god, yeah, yes, yes, Nasty Neal, thank you for telling me and showing me the greatness of The Greasy Strangler. And then I know I can be friends with that person. Lucy out there, also known as Kaylee. Now, I didn't tell her about The Greasy Strangler. I found out that she watched and reviewed The Greasy Strangler. And I was like, you know what? I can be friends with this. Now people are like, that's your reason? I was like, yes. If someone watched and enjoyed The Greasy Strangler, odds are they can be friends with Nasty Neal. Now, if you don't like it, fuck you. No, no, no. I could still probably be friends with you. I'll also, in the back of my head, always realize they didn't like The Greasy Strangler. Their tastes are probably either shit or they just like, mainstream movies like The Conjuring or something, which is fine. I'm not a snob, so I could still be friends with them. But the point is, The Greasy Strangler, fantastic movie. And now I've liked lots of movies since then. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's Greasy Strangler or nothing. I've loved lots of movies since The Greasy Strangler, but not until Fuck My Son, the movie. It's a movie. Fuck My Son. Did I watch a movie again that really gave me that same feeling? And I was like, damn. So Fuck My Son, I can't say it's like above Greasy Strangler or even equal, because it's like Greasy Strangler's like up here, but it's right around here. It's like, damn, that's good. It's in the Greasy Strangler universe. Where the hell was I going to? Oh, so Carl Solomon, who's not in Fuck My Son, though he should have been. He is in the Greasy Strangler. For people who know the lore, he was going to be the Greasy Strangler until they ended up going with my good friend Michael St. Michaels, who's a dear friend of mine. Carl Solomon is also a friend of mine, and I don't use that term lightly. These are friends of mine. Michael St. Michaels. The reason was given that I've heard from the director is that he looked more like the actor played his son Sky Elobar. I don't know if I totally buy that, but who knows? They're both tall, so maybe. But Carl Solomon plays 3 different characters in The Greasy Strangler. He nails it. And so I went kind of nuts when I saw The Greasy Strangler. I was like, this is a movie that really personifies Nasty Neal's taste in film. I was like, fuck yeah, The Greasy Strangler. So I was like, I'm going to do Greasy Week. I'm going to do an interview every day with the cast of Greasy Strangler. I got Michael St. Michaels. I got Sky Elobar. I got Carl Solomon. I got the director. I got everyone I could find and everyone that would agree to talk to me, which fortunately was a lot of the people. I don't think anyone turned me down, to be honest. Now, I mean, even had the composer on. The only guy I didn't get on was the hot dog salesman because he had passed away. Even had Oinker on the show. Even Oinker. So Carl Solomon, great interviews on the show. We talked for like 2 or 3 hours. Interesting guy, a fun guy, a real character, just like everyone in the movie is a real character. And I believe the director, that's what he wanted. He wanted all characters in the movie. They all look unique, and they're all fun people. And Carl Solomon if you look at his IMDb, it's, hundreds of stuff. He plays background in a lot of big stuff and big TV shows and movies. And then he does a lot of weird ass stuff like the Greasy Strangler. And he was also in my feature film, which, there's someone out there who I think they think this is AI or something, and then I'm not involved, and I somehow just traveled the world with the movie, and for some reason, I've got an interview on here, and I do multiple commentary tracks on the disc, even though I have no involvement in the movie. But we're not here to talk about that person. This is the What's in Future Smash and End Zone 2 double disc set. This you cannot get anymore. This is the special slip cover that you can only get if you were a backer of said project. And so, long story short, not really. It was short story long, I guess. Carl Solomon is in this film, and I'm ecstatic about that. And then he was at the premiere, which you can see him in photos I've posted, which I came up recently too. Is they're like, I was in Tommy's chat, and they're like, Nasty Neal, all you talk about is stuff you've done, stuff you're doing, and stuff you're gonna do. They're like, you did this, you're doing that, and you're gonna do this. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I think they're right. They're onto something here. I only talk about the past, the present, and the future. I'm guilty. I shouldn't talk about stuff I've done, stuff I'm doing, or stuff I'm going to do. Then I thought, well, what am I supposed to talk about? Stuff I won't do? Stuff I might do? Just lie and make stuff. I'm confused. So in the chat, there's really just two people. And it's like, Neal, you're just always telling people what you've done, what you're currently doing, and what you're going to do. None of that. We will not have it. But anyway, Carl Solomon was in the movie. It's something I've done. And he was at the premiere, also something I've done. And now he's in the chat, something I'm doing now. And maybe he'll be in the chat tomorrow, something I'll do in the future. But Carl Solomon, admit you're happy to see Shuli lose his channel. That is not true, Carl Solomon 9999. I am not happy to see anyone lose their channel. That includes John. I don't hate John. I know people think I do, and look, I stand up for myself. I know this will be part of my own Dabbleverse series I do. This one show I'm going to do. So, as Tommy said, because people say, oh, Neal pretends to be a nice guy. He's like, no, he is a nice guy. And I appreciate that. And I think I am. I mean, I know that doesn't sound very humble. What am I supposed to say? But I treat people how I want to be treated, and I never will, go after somebody who's never done anything to me. So I was probably pretty boring a lot of times on these shows because no one was doing anything to me. So I was going to say, I'm not going to trash them. And then that fateful night came when Ava and John were, I mean, anyone, and look, let's be honest, 99.9% of the people who watch it realize what's going on. They were double teaming me. You know what I mean? Verbally. And I believe they assume that, I'm not this confrontational guy. I'm going to sit there and take it. And eventually, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But no, I'm not going to do that when I think I'm right. And I knew they were wrong. And so I stood up for myself. And what happened. I thought it was very entertaining. People liked it. And then I was on recently. Basically, the same thing happened again. The point being, even if I have issues with John, I don't hate the guy. I would go back on Stuttering John's podcast, but he has to know I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to talk to him and say what I think. And even if I let's say I did hate him, I would not want him to lose his channel. And I do think I think the majority of people out there would also agree with that. They would not want him to lose his channel. Things might be a little different now with him striking the Shuli network, but I do not want Shuli to lose his channel, regardless of what I thought of Shuli. As I mentioned last time I was on John's show, I was kind of indifferent to Shuli. That sounds like a negative, but it's not. It was like I didn't have I didn't hate the guy, I didn't love the guy, because I didn't watch a lot of it. Because honestly, I'm going to talk more about this when I do the Dead to Me show. I didn't watch Stuttering John until I was on Stuttering John's show. That's not even like a knock on the dude. I just didn't watch it. So the idea of watching a show about somebody I don't watch wasn't that interesting to me. It's no knock on anybody involved. And so when John would trash him, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. He seemed okay to me. And you know, I was on the show a couple times. He's very nice to me. They joke around. Look, they joke about me. That does not bother me. Unless you're being like an asshole, that's different. Busting balls, like they say. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. That's what all of us did. You know, I'm a internet guy since 2000 on message boards and early podcasting days. We were all trolls. I was a big troll. And we all, you know, busted each other's balls. We still do, you know, more so my wrestling podcast and the horror podcast. So that stuff does not bother me. There's a difference between trolling and joking around with someone and being like, you know, malicious or being an asshole. Maybe you could be an asshole and troll, but I think you know what I'm saying. So I didn't think anything ill of him. I've talked to him more since the stuff with John lately. And I like Shuli. I like Shuli. I think he's do I agree with everything he does? No. I mean, I think it's kind of weird to talk about John every day, but who is it weird? And the whole concept of the Dabbleverse is pretty weird. So I mean, every single person in the Dabbleverse is weird. Let's be honest. So and then there's other things. Just a lot of people say stuff that goes over a line to everybody. Everyone has their own line. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that joke's a little too far. Or, I don't really agree with that. I don't agree with recording John or playing John's, you know, private voice phone messages, or not even messages, but, you know, phone conversations. I don't agree with that stuff. Does that mean I hate Shuli or anything? No. It's just a difference of opinion. What I think is fine, what he thinks is fine. So the point is, I'm not happy to see him lose his channel. I don't want him to lose his channel. And I can't think of anyone that I would like to lose their channel. Stuttering John, I don't want to lose his channel. I hope he does well. Another thing I don't agree with. I see sometimes people saying, you know, don't super chat this guy. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's right either. I think if people want to super chat John, they should. I think John's good for the Dabbleverse. Without John, the Dabbleverse, it would still exist because it would exist without him, but it's not the same. I like all the different characters. Everyone has their place, so I don't want to see anyone lose. I don't like Liam at all. He's one of the few people I like dislike, and I don't even know if he has a channel. I hope he doesn't lose it, and I hope she doesn't lose her channel if she has one. So no, I'm not happy to see Shuli lose a channel, and I would not be happy with anyone, honestly. Double dicked. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but hell yeah. All right, so this was just going to be a test stream for 5 minutes. I wanted to I already went over this. I had some problems with the laptop. I think I got it working well now. So Sunday I will be back. I don't know who's all going to be on. I invited the gang. So it could be me, Troy. I think Tara will be there, and maybe AJ. And then also anybody out there who was at Buried Alive, if you had a film there, if you were at a panel there, if you watch movies there, and you want to come on and interact, come to the chat, throw in some messages. I'll pop them up for free. And if you want to jump on for a few minutes too, we could probably work that out. It'll be a fun time. And then Tuesday, In Your Head, that's on the IYH Wrestling channel. We'll review Full Gear. And then this week, Wednesday, is the live interview with Thomas Lorber, who played John Carver, and Eli Ross. Thanksgiving. So the day before Thanksgiving, that'll be a fun time. I still think, I won't say the person's name, but I messaged you earlier. I'm still pretty sure you're Carl Solomon 999. All right. Until Sunday, this Nasty Neal. I'll be back. And I don't know when the time frame is to do my Dabbleverse show. It's not going to be an ongoing show. It's going to be my 1 year in the Dabbleverse. We'll figure it out. But get your questions ready. All right. Good night, everybody.
Hi, this is Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you are listening to Without Your Head. And you better keep listening to Without Your Head, or you will not only be without your head, you will be without your soul, because I will tear it apart.